Okay, here again with another video for all the BD owners. On this one, we're going to be talking about actually multiple points, and I just made this list of things that we need to talk about when creating or thinking about creating or redesigning the category structure that either you're going to have or you already have on your BD site. If you're already a BD owner, you know the default category structure that BD uses, okay? By the way, we're going to be talking about the category usage and the default structure that BD has, plus search concepts. So searching concepts are based on how people use the site, search on the site, and why some people doing a particular way and others, when I talk about, for example, the flexible search engine or customizations, it's basically opening thinking outside the box kind of thing. So it opens a lot of doors. So let's start first with the member categories. We all know the default category structure. If you've never seen it, let's look at it here. So if you go to my members, member categories, you're able to see, the top level categories where users are only able to pick one of these. They can't be found multiple ones. Then the sub-levels and sub-sub-levels. For the subs and sub-subs, they can pick multiple ones. Okay. When you visually see this on the profile member, so let's open, for example, my handsome image there. I looked like I was drinking or something. If you go to the listing details, you're able to see, the categories and stuff like that. These are the subs that you can pick. Here's another sub, 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 and these are the sub subs. So candy has a whole bunch of sub subs. Pizza has 3 sub subs, and hamburger, sandwich, and hot dog don't have any sub subs. Okay, and the main one is normally found on the contact details on the. It doesn't have this name, I believe. It wouldn't say top category. It says something like what do you specialize in, or something around that wording. And you would select whatever you specialize in there, and then once this form is saved, because if you don't save this form with a specific top category, you don't see this area here, just in case. So for the people that are going to say, well, I don't have this here, it's because you haven't saved this form and you haven't saved that specific field. It says something about what do you specialize in? Or maybe it says top category. I don't know. I don't remember right now. But I know that the top category is found in the contact details form and the specialties, basically, or what you specialize in is found here. Once and after you've selected the top category. Um, so here you go. You have that, blah, blah, blah. And you see visually, you see the structure that you have there. Okay, so the default category structure, again, is top level. And then inside each top level, you got the sub levels and sub levels. You are able to import multiple ones. So, for example, if I wanted to add more to the food candy section, I would put multiple ones here, separated each one individually in its own line. Okay, not comma separated, but like it says here, enter one new subcategory per line. And then once you save that, it will create all of them for candy in this case. Okay, if I don't select any, no parent, then we create all this for that top category. I mean, for that subcategory. Okay. Um, so that's pretty much the default there. That's it. That's all. There's a concept, and that's why I put here custom. You can see it multiple places. Custom category structure, where, for example, some clients that we've had, and by the way, I'm mentioning this video to make sure that some clients don't get, I'm not gonna say fraud, but they don't get abused by uh, developers saying that this is not possible, something like that. Like things store. I'm not gonna go into details, but basically to make sure that the BD owner, the owner, you knows more about what's possible than what somebody else can tell you. So For the member categories, you can use them as the following. You could say, and we've created cases like that, where when they select a top level category, okay, they are able to, and here it goes, they're able to create a sub level category, sub level category, sub level category, sub level category, up to worst case that we've done is 7 levels, which is annoying, but you are able to go as deep as you want. Alice in Wonderland kind of thing. So it's up to the owner of the site. I would not advise against. I would advise against that actually because it's too much for a member to process. But you are able to do that. Okay. You're also able to say that when they select one character, two specific subcategories or three or something like that, an additional hidden subcategory gets selected for something. So let me explain in which cases that has actually applied. So let's say that in order for you to classify, not select, but classify for a specific category, you need to be proficient in Python, JavaScript, Rust, and Golang, something like that. Okay. So the system would detect if you actually selected all 4 of them. And if you did, it would also automatically select that hidden category for you so that when somebody searches for you, you get matched, which means you're proficient in all this. Like if you're a Linux system administrator, that means that you know this and that and blah blah blah. If you're into architecture, then you have to know this and that and blah blah blah. So it takes away the possibility of them selecting that option directly, and only gets triggered if they actually select a certain amount or combination of categories. That's another case that we've created. Um, so that yeah, that's that. There's others. There's just others. So you got that default plus custom category structure that you can do, and there's other combinations. Like I always tell people, don't tell me if something is possible. Tell me what you actually need from the business perspective, from the actual business that you're trying to create. It changes completely the paradigm in which you're basing the building of the site. If you know that everything is possible, then it stops you from stopping yourself in regards to what you should be building for the platform. Okay, so don't ask me, can we do this? Just tell me, I need this for my business. My business actually needs this here. Okay, and then we jump into the custom category structure. We call them the filtering options. Why filtering? I'm going to explain a couple of cases. These were just this week, for example. So one case is for in the case that you have, and that's why I need to also explain the importing part here. You have multiple categories, but it just so happens that the subcategories or the subcategories, they share the same name. So let's say let's go here. So if you see my top level category, you got food, and then if we go to the sub level, we got a bunch of them, okay? But we got candy and we got pizza. And on candy and pizza, you don't see repeated names here, okay? You don't see everything is cool, awesome there. But if you go to the subcategory, then things just go haywire. So you just start scrolling down, you see Reese's, Skittles, you see chocolate inside candy, by the way. Kit Kat inside candy, mushroom inside pizza, vegetarian inside pizza, and then you see chocolate again inside pizza, because you know a chocolate pizza. Oh, God. But anyway, somebody bought a chocolate pizza. So we got chocolate inside pizza, and we got chocolate inside candy. When this happens, and when this happens a lot, actually, it just needs to happen once. When that happens, I always tell people you need to start using the filtering options because that issue might grow into something horrible later on. When you use the filtering options, the structure of the categories are not constrained by the format that BD uses here. Let's call them categories again. or just filtering options, just in case. But each category is independent. You can create a dependency with other categories, but they're not forced to that. So because of that, you could eventually create one chocolate category that has two parents. So if that structure was available here, you would see chocolate once, and then the parent sub level category would be candy and pizza at the same time. That's where the filtering options come in. Another case, substrings of category names. And these are just, there's way too many cases where the filtering options come in. A substring of a category name. So let's say that you're talking about ethnicity. And you say, well, we got African Americans, we got Black Americans, we got Chinese Americans, we get, all those mix and I'm from Venezuela, so for me, we don't care about that. But imagine those keywords because they end up being used a lot by U.S. Business owners. So because it applies a lot in the U.S. So you got those keywords. But what happens if what you want is that when somebody searches for Black Americans, it searches at the same time for Black and at the same time for Americans. So it means it will match everybody that's Black and everybody that's American. Okay, let's turn that into flavors. You're looking for multiple ice cream flavors. I have no idea why I always come back to ice cream, but anyway, you're looking for strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla ice cream. If that was a category, you would literally be looking for a chocolate vanilla strawberry ice cream. But if this was a filtering option, you could turn it into, yes, I'm looking for a chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry if it matches one of them, two of them, or all three of them. You could turn it into that. So you can that's what why I mentioned the substring of a category name. So here you could have, if this was chocolate candy and the other one here was chocolate pizza, and somebody searched for chocolate, it would match those two, even though they're in different categories. I don't know if some of you are actually getting the point of the flexibility of thinking outside of the category structure and jumping into the filtering options, which are basically given immediately to owners if they get the flexible search engine. Like immediately, like it just gives you that freedom. That's why I'm talking about this again, because again, people ask me, by the way, I didn't put these names. People call the flexible search engine lazy engine or magic engine. Um, when they get this, they understand the amount of things that they're getting now and the flexibility in regards to that. And if you're a developer, wow, you have so many potential now. If you're the owner, you have so much freedom now. So those are two cases of many other cases where you're able to use the filtering option concept that we created. So the filtering option concept, for example, lets you say, I'm looking for a category mushroom and a vegetarian one. So it needs to match both. Not just one, like the search does. No, but two of them. Or you can use it as a or. So it needs to match either this one or both. Or you can use it as a XOR, XOR, which means it either matches this one or this one, but it can't match both. Okay? So you start getting ideas about, how can I do this and do that? I ended up creating the filtering system because there were cases where people had 50 categories, 100 categories. My worst case nightmare was 2,700 and something a little bit more categories. And when that got translated into filtering options, it went to 8, from 2,700 to just 8. What happened there? Well, what happened was the categories were something like a basic member with Miami and something something. So they were mixing location with specific stuff from that area with the membership level with a whole bunch of things that they're not supposed to be doing, and that's why they ended up in that Alice in Wonderland kind of hole. So the filtering option just made everything easier to manage, maintain, and scale. You can't scale something when you get to that point. So that's another idea about the custom category structure. Now the category keywords. Now the category keywords gets asked a lot, which is this here, the related keywords. That's a nice idea. Also, the images get asked a lot. The category images actually show. They show anywhere where the categories are, and especially on the home page. If you put images here, there's a specific streaming widget that you can put on the homepage, so it showcases all the categories, especially if they have images. Okay, so people can just click there and go directly to the category page where the members will show if they're inside that category. But for the related keywords, this is very important too. It's also related to the flexible search engine, but you can use it in with a global search at the top. You know the here. And the way that it works is the following: if somebody like Milky Way, I got Milky Way here, okay? If you do a Google keyword search, you'll see synonyms and other things that people search when they're searching for the Milky Way. Well, obviously, they might end up in cosmos or astronaut or something like that. So let's look for something else. Skittles, something like that. You got Skittles here. You could put candy. So if somebody searches for candy, they see Skittles in the drop down when they're searching. But mainly, it's not just used to show keywords that could be related to the name of the category here. It's also used, and people don't know this, for misspelling, typos. So you could put here, for example, you could put Skittles without a T. You could put, these are comma separated, Skittles without the ES. You could put Skittles without something like that. I don't know. I'm just spelling the thing wrong. And then if we do a search, and once it's saved here, because this is a Ajax call, then we don't have to do anything. I can type this in and we show Skittles, but I could also type Skittles because it's there and it show Skittles. See? I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So now we got this puppy here. This is a great idea about how you can take advantage of the BD system that has these keywords here, and you can put all the little tiny errors that people could do there, and you still fix them for them and show the correct category. By the way, it's not forced. I read a question there to in regards to only applying to what category. Let me show you something. So let's put here people. I don't know, people. Let's put here people too. Okay. So let's do a search. I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna show you something. There we go. Let's put people. We got people, and it shows me those two because they got the keywords people or whatever you want to group them by. So that grouping, as you can see, is not related to the category. It's independent. It's used through the keywords, and it works. That's just a couple ideas. I'm pretty sure everybody's pausing the video right now and just taking notes. Okay, so we got this member categories done there. Now we're jumping to the importing member categories. So here's where I've had a couple issues with other developers because they either say that this is not possible, charge a huge amount. So you as the BD owner will now know how to import subcategories. First, I'm going to show you the default typical structure that you can use. So here's my baby example that I always use. The listing type, you actually say here that there's only two values, individual or company. You say here what they are. Okay. I got a first name, last name. Okay. The email. So basically the company, the basics. the base information that you need, address 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. And then I get to the categories. So if you've done an import before, you know that professional underscore name is a top category. You got food there. Okay, so if I come here, you see top category food. Okay, all good, all nice. And you got services. You got the subcategory for pizza, or subcategory for the sub, which is called pizza. The subcategory chocolate for the sub candy. Okay, and you got that mix and match there. Now, if you do an import like this, I want you to pause the video and think how, when I import these people, in which categories they'll fall into. So here you can see that I got pizza and then chocolate. So here I got pizza, somewhere down there. These are the, okay, here's candy, sorry. Candy. Okay. And pizza, I got chocolate for pizza and I got chocolate for candy. If we go here and we just show the food ones, okay, we got candy and we got pizza as a sub of food. Candy and pizza as a sub for food. And here you can see that I'm saying, well, I want chocolate, which is underneath pizza, to be added to this member. I want chocolate, which is under candy, to be added to this member, wherever that member there is. And then here you can see chocolate under pizza and chocolate under candy. So pause the video and you tell me what results am I supposed to be getting once I do the import. Okay. So you come back from Scooby-Doo, we go to the import process, and we are going to, let me save this just in case I didn't save it. And then we're going to do the import. Ta-dum-tum-tum. Let's put them here in silver. Let's select that. Pam-pam-pam. And then we do begin import. As you can see, you don't see any issues. There's no broken columns that are going to be imported. The system knows what to do with the information that's there because of the naming convention that's on the first row. And when I say naming convention, I mean this things here. This. Okay. It's done. It imported 6 members. Awesome. We are supposed to see 1 member on the pizza section, 2, 3, 4 members on the pizza category, on the chocolate pizza category, and we're supposed to see 1, 2, 3 on the chocolate candy category. Is that good? Is that correct? Okay, let's double check. Let me click here so we refresh that, and then we're gonna see how many. So if we go to the sub-level category, we see 9 here. 9 members on the food. Awesome. It updated itself. So now we're gonna let's select here food, and we see we got 4 on the candy, and we got 4 on the pizza. Okay, what? Once we go in there, you know, there was already somebody in crunch and blah blah blah, but we're gonna check the chocolate one. So here we see 7 people in chocolate, nobody in chocolate pizza. Here's what happened. I'm gonna give you a second to understand what happened. There's nobody in the chocolate pizza, and there's 7, which basically means that everybody went to the candy chocolate one. See all this? Services, because of the structural format that's on the database, services, or for if you're a developer, the list services table, it shares the sub and sub categories on the same table. And because of that, the system doesn't know this chocolate category belongs to this candy category. It just takes the first chocolate that gets matched, which in this case it was candy, and it just puts them there. So here it added somebody to pizza, to the pizza category. but it added somebody to the candy one because that was the first chocolate category that it found. They could have been multiple ones, but that's the first one that it found. That's why if we go to the sub level, we put food there, you can see 4 people in pizza. There's 4 in pizza. But if we go here and we say, well, wow, that's a lot of I gotta start cleaning up stuff here. If you go to the pizza one, you see, where's those 4? There's nobody in this sub categories. That's because for the ones that were pizza, it found the sub category of candy, which is chocolate here. It found that one first, and it gave that to these members. So now you just made a mess of importing this because of the way that BD handles this. The correct approach, and I need to delete the members because I just made a mess of basically my directory. The correct approach, and here's the trick, is to, and thanks to Tamara for showing me that. Let me see here. First, yeah, let me delete this. The correct approach is for you to make sure if you actually want to import subcategories, make sure that the sub not just the subs, but the subs all have unique names. So if you do the following, then you can specify to which subs and subs a member will go into. And you save yourself a lot of money by doing that. So for example, we got this one chocolate, which is from pizza. We'll call this one chocolate pizza. And we got, let me just put everybody here. And we got this chocolate from candy. Let's just call it chocolate candy. That's it. Yeah, I won't kill myself with naming. Chocolate pizza, chocolate candy. That's it. And for the import, I just do that. That's all. Chocolate pizza here, chocolate candy there, because that's what we want. We want this chocolate candy to be inside the candy subcategory. Same for this chocolate. We want this chocolate pizza to be inside the pizza category. The system can't guess this. The system is actually doing a lot of work already. So chocolate pizza. I know a couple of people are gonna say, Louis, why the hell didn't you tell me this sooner? Pizza, chocolate pizza, candy, chocolate pizza. Okay, there we go. That's it. We're now gonna save this, and I'm gonna import this again. Let's do the import. What will happen now? Stay tuned. We're gonna see it next Scooby-Doo or something. Begin import. You see, no errors, no nothing. It reads this stuff. Ah, okay, yeah. These are the services, the subcategories. Okay, let's do it. Do it, champ. There's no errors, just 6 members, and we're gonna refresh this puppy. Let's refresh it. Again, we got the 9 members there on the food. If we go here and we start reading through it, we got 4 in candy and 4 in pizza, like before. But here's where things turn dark. Chocolate candy has 2. Or it should have had 3. I think I made a boo-boo there. And chocolate pizza has 5. Let me see. We got chocolate candy here. We got chocolate candy here. Oh, chocolate pizza, candy, chocolate. Oh, it's my fault. See, I put chocolate pizza again there. Let's fix that right now. Let me save it. This is a quick thing, no worries. And because I want you guys to and gals to see it for yourself. So especially with that last one, because I want to show you that you are able to put multiple ones and it will work. It'll just work. So again, pizza, it should be 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the chocolate pizza. And there should be 1, 2, 3. Here you can see that I'm putting multiple subcategories, but with different names. Okay. 3 on the chocolate candy one. Let's save this. Let's go here. Import. My bad. Silver. Import that puppy. Down. We already know that it's working perfectly. 3, 2, 1. Refresh. We go to the subcategories. They will look at it and they will see 3 chocolate candy. Oh my god, it worked. And then 4 chocolate pizza. Let's count that. 1, 2, 3, Sesame Street. 4. Again, Sesame Street. 1, Elmer. 1, 2, okay? And 3, Elmo says 3. So we got those 3. Sorry, I got kids, so now things are sticking to me. So that way, I just proved to you that you are able to import subcategories on BD. Okay. Chocolate pizza, you got 4 people there. It's working. You got the 4. We're going to double check who those 4 are. So I'm just gonna go ramble here and start deleting columns. Plop. Pam 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 pam. Okay. We're supposed to see here. You can compare which ones are chocolate pizza. So chocolate pizza is Peter Parker. You can see Peter Parker here. Chocolate pizza is Bruce Wayne because he's Batman. Jon Snow, because I mean, come on, you know Jon Snow. So in this case, Jon Snow is a company, so I think I deleted the company name, but you get my point. He's there. Snow there. And Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage is there. It is. Okay. So that confirms that you're able to import subcategories if you make sure that the naming conventions are unique for them. Okay. Let's continue. Feature categories. So for the feature categories, if you don't know where the feature categories are, you go to my content, edit post settings, and you just edit. I don't care which one. These are all features. Okay. On the first page, you're gonna find the post categories, and here's where you put the categories for the features, comma separated. Obviously, if one of your categories has a comma inside of it, you need to remove it because this is a comma separated list of categories. Okay. And that's the default. That's awesome. But some of the customizations that can be done or have been done, the same idea about the filtering options and same idea about using the flexible search engine, you could create subcategories for them. You could create, which I forgot here, which by the way, there's a video here in the channel about this, multi-select category options for the same feature. Okay. And by doing that, they work great with the flexible search engine immediately there. So you got multi-select category options, you got default category options, which are the ones on BD. You could create subcategories, so depending on what they selected, for example, you could select news, and then the subcategory could be politics, and then you could create a page just for that. Multi-select category options in the case that they apply to multiple things. So you have a category called birthday, and then another one called kids. It could be a kid's birthday post. Category dependency. So category dependency is something that it's also related to a flexible search engine because of how the engine uses that. And it relates to how the options that you see for either a field or subcategories change depending on another field. So let's say this. Let's say that somebody's creating a post. If they're from Texas, the options change. If they selected for a field in the post, let's say it's events, and they're charging for the events, the categories change. If they're free, the categories change. If they, you get my point. If they have a category dependency. So the options, the category options, change depending on another field. Not only on another field, but it could be a value that got selected, a membership level, a it's a multiple things. So it could be not just one dependency, but it could be multiple things. Like for example, your premium members, they can create articles, but they can create articles in specific categories. Your basic ones can only create them in specific categories, like a lower amount of category options, or even different category options. So that's there. Um, and then the custom categories is just a completely different thing. So for example, here they can select, it could be a mix of multi-select category options, subcategory options. They could have options where the category could change the pricing of the post. They could change the, it just, it's a lot of ideas that we've done there where it's up to the owner, again, not asking me if this is possible, but telling me that that's how I want my business to actually work. So those are the feature categories. Um, what I'm trying to do is open up your mind in regards to things that you can do here. So, okay, continuing with the search categories. Okay, search categories is when you, basically you do a search. And whoops, that's me optimizing the wrong page. I was working yesterday for, whoops, here, candy maybe. Okay, so you do know that you can put here the categories, so people can search for categories there. Let's do it right now for the ones that don't know how to. We go to the sidebar manager. I went to toolbox, sidebar manager, and then because I'm in the member search results, we go to the member search results sidebar. And depending on what you see here, I can add a search box here. But if you see this puppy here, search module dynamic sidebar search, it means that you can manage the searching sidebar that shows here from the actual feature. So we go to my content, edit post settings, scroll down, we open this baby here, member listing, search results. We go to the search results design and you click on additional settings and you see this. Where's the sidebar to use? Member search results. Sidebar search module. This one is the keyword and location. Keyword and location. We want to change that to, one of these babies. So let's just do this one. Save that. So it should show the top, sub, and subs. Save that, we refresh here, and voila. It shows exactly what you wanted. We do food, and we do, candy, and it shows you what you're supposed to be finding there. But when you're doing these searches, that's where the flexible search engine ideas start coming in. So these are the default categories that you can search by or filter by. Okay. When you have the flexible search engine, what happens is the following. You now have the ability of asking yourself, will members be able to search by specific fields? So not just the categories, but for example, when they graduated, what did they say yes to this field or no to that other field, or how much are they charging for this product or service or whatever. It's up to you how you want to manage that part. Will the members get matched with any specific field or all use filter fields? What I mean with this is the following. Wow, the English there went crazy. You are able to decide if when you use multiple fields, do you want them to match one of them, two of them, all of them? Okay. Like for example, I'm looking for people in the US, the UK, Australia, whichever, that have this that say yes to this and that offer this service and that they offer blah blah blah, or that they have email. So it will look for everybody that matches the first criteria and also the second criteria. So you are able to play with an and or kind of idea, and you have no idea how many possibilities that opens up. Because now you're able to be very strict about the matching, or very flexible about the matching, or mix and match that to your liking. Will the specific fields support multiple options? Okay, with this I mean, can I click here and select multiple ones? So again, there's a video for that I created, but can I select multiple ones instead of just one? If you're able to, then the flexible search engine again helps with that one too, a lot actually. Will the options be explicit or implicit? So this helps. I had a case where the owner, she knows who she is. She had Antarctica and Arctic as a destination. The field was which destinations do you want to go, something like that. And because the word Arctic was inside Antarctica, Antarctic, it matched both. So there are cases where the way that the categories or filtering options were made, you might want to not match them like that. Where does this apply? So again, remember my case about Black American, Black African, I don't know, Black Asian or something. Maybe you literally want them to match against the Black American, or you want to match against the Black and American. So like in Latin America, you have the whole rainbow actually. So maybe you want to, for the field to be very explicit about how it matches, or maybe you want it to be implicit about how it matches. Okay. Will the options be required? That's another thing. You can't search until they are that you use them. Will specific options depend on other options? So where do I go with that one? So let's say that you have a lot of options here, and one of the questions is, I don't know, did you graduate? So depending on what the answer there, then other options would show, saying from what year, you have a master's degree, etc., etc., etc. So they could be field dependency, let's call it that, depending on the options that they select for something, or enable. Like, do you have a car? Yes. Okay. What license do you have? But you're not gonna be asking what license do you have if they say no to the car. Will specific options depend on specific fields? Well, yeah, these two are covered by that. Use a keyword or location field only inside a particular category or membership level. Okay, so this whole thing, it's based on the following. The whole design here could change depending on the location that's being searched, where they're searching from, the membership level, the category, the top category in this case, or the subcategory or the subset. So you could use any type of variables to determine how the search will work and show. Other category ideas. Let me see what I put here. So yeah, okay. This was done like a week ago. Populate a particular membership level or category with default category and sub. Okay, so if you're in a particular membership level, it will show you specific categories or fields there. So it's the same thing that I just mentioned above. Allow categories to work as an or and SOR. So you could select multiple categories, and if they're or, it can match any of them. If the and, it would match all of them. It would need to match all of them so for the search results to show. And if you use SOR, XOR, it will need to match any of them, but not all of them at the same time. Okay? But there are specific cases where you actually use this. I already talked about the ideas about creating 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 level category structure, which is crazy, but there's some sites that we've done like that. It's very hard to manage later on, but the owner actually needed it like that. Show only categories that have members. Yep, this could be filtered out so that only members only categories show for those members. Only options for any of the fields show for those members. All this is included in the flexible search engine package, just in case. Show only categories that have members. Yeah, search by keywords for categories and custom fields for categories. Well, this is more related to the idea about Skittles that I mentioned here. So it would be here, same thing for any type of fields, including the categories. So you could offer flexibility there. If they do a typo, then based on the keywords that you put in the backend or something, it could be matched against that. Set specific limits to category fields. Um, this is more related to permissions, membership levels, field dependency, so it would change depending on the another category, etc., etc., etc. And the lazy engine, magic engine, I call it the flexible because again it was done for me to speed up my developing process. It's used to offer the video owner a lot of flexibility. If they have a developer or a group of developers, they can code here faster. And it's a lot of, well, I think up to this point you've seen the benefits. It lowers developing time. Again, typically it takes between the some customizations, like the typical time that we take for customizing the search engine is like 2 weeks. Worst case that we had was almost 3 months customizing it to the way that the client wanted it. Lowering developing costs. So obviously, if you lower the time, you lower the cost. More flexibility in ideas, as you've seen all over the place here. And lowering the knowledge requirements, because if you have the flexible search engine, you basically only need to know at that point HTML. That's all you need to know. After that, you can just create your own custom field here and the thing just works magically. Because the flexible search engine will take care of the PHP, the MySQL. It will be very dynamic in regards to what you're searching for, and it has a lot of benefits. Okay? A lot of benefits that I'm not even mentioning here because it covers too much ground. It's very powerful. So, but coming back to this, now you know about member category ideas and how it works if you only want to use the default one, the importing process, and how you can upload subcategories. Voila. Feature categories and some ideas there, and me trying to open your mind in regards to a bunch of things that you can accomplish here. Okay. So I hope you like this video. It touches default structures, custom ideas, filtering options, importing, feature categories, and where to do them, and searching paradigms about how you can basically change the way that the site works for your customers, your clients, your members, your visitors. Okay. So with that said, think positive. Big hugs to everybody.